What's up, y'all, and welcome to another question of the day. Today, I've got a fairly simple one. I got my examples back there, but my answer to it, I should ask the question first. Okay, so first question of the day today: what is your largest toy in your collection? So obviously, I mean, in actual size, your biggest toy. I'm really curious to what your answers might be. Really curious to what kind of toy or what scale. I've got a couple examples here. They're in two different scales. Someone's answer might be like a big quarter scale action figure, which what size would those be? Those would be like 18 inches tall, I believe. I had a quarter scale figure once, ended up selling it. It just wasn't for me. Could be a statue. There are some collectible. I would still count. I mean, it's not technically a toy, but in the realm of collectibles, I would still count a collectible statue, and some of those could be quarter scale, 1/3 scale, 1/2 scale, or full 1-to-1 scale. What else? I think for most of us action figure collectors, though, our largest thing is going to be like a vehicle. But again, that's why I'm asking this, because I'm curious. To you guys out there, what is your largest toy? I'm wondering if anybody out there has a USS flag, or at least any of you that are watching. Man, that's definitely a holy grail as far as G.I. Joe goes, right? Anyway, so for my answer to the question, I actually have three answers. But as you see, only two examples here. So first of all, I count this as my technically my largest toy. I mean, and I'm not 100% sure because I still have a few larger toys like tucked away in storage boxes, but the fact that they're tucked away in storage boxes tells me that this is bigger than any of them. Now, some of them might be bigger in different dimensions and girth, but in length, this doesn't fit in any of my storage boxes. And when I say my storage boxes, I mean I pretty much use the Home Depot storage boxes. So you've got your smalls, your mediums, your larges, and your extra larges. And lengthwise, anyway, this G.I. Joe Mobile Command Center. And if you're not familiar with this is actually a reissue. I believe it was 2001 or so. Or 2002, 2003, early 2000s reissue of the vintage. I don't remember what year the original one came out. Early to mid 80s, I imagine. I've loved having this in my collections. It's always been one of my favorite vehicles and pieces in my G.I. Joe collection. You probably won't see it on camera. I might do a closer look, like a collection video, so to speak, but I've omitted some of the stickers, and I've got like a couple special stickers I threw on there. Anyway, I say this is technically my largest, only because you see back there, I've got the Star Wars Black Series in its 6-inch scale, or 1/12 scale, First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter. The thing is, I've never taken that out of the box. For several reasons. Now, a couple years back, somewhere around after Christmas time, somewhere around this time, a couple years back, it was already when I was here in San Diego, or in Vegas. My mom back in San Diego, and my brother was shopping with her. They were at the Navy base department store, the Navy Exchange. And my brother called me that, there was a bunch of stuff on clearance that I might be interested in, including this. At the time, I don't think it had hit, where was it hitting for $50? I don't remember. I know it hit Ross eventually, but I remember there was somewhere else that it was popping up at $50 or somewhere around there. But this was, I forget how much it was on clearance. Plus they had an additional something percent off, and basically it was like $60. So, you know, still a little more than the 50 that it was at some places, but still for what it was and for the original price, that was a good price. Now, the reason I had to open it, a couple of reasons. In that time, I mean, I was like, sure, grab it for me, just because it was like $60 for the big ass, you know, 6-inch scale Special Forces TIE fighter. But even so, I was like, still, and up till now, not 100% decided on jumping back into collecting the 6-inch Black Series. Plus the fact that I don't know how big this thing is going to be once it's like fully assembled. I mean, I imagine the, if you could call those wings, the wing parts are about this big. But, you know, you throw in the middle section, the cockpit and everything, and it's like that wide. And so, you know, I imagine it's going to be pretty huge. And I'm like, this box has already taken up a lot of space. When it's, you know, open and assembled, I don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't know if I think it's too heavy to hang from the ceiling, you know. I don't really have, well, I mean, I guess I can make some floor space if I really wanted to just like sit it on the floor somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's not going to fit in one of my storage boxes. I mean, if it might, then I might be okay with it being open. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's basically those two reasons. You know, the back and forth of not being sure if I really want to collect the 6-inch Black Series, and then again the space it would take up. I mean, this is just in box, it already takes up a lot of storage space. You know, I've also been back and forth with selling it a few times. I know, you know, when they were going as low as $50, so for so long you probably couldn't get more than that. You probably couldn't even get $50 for it because of how many, you know, were bought up at $50, and it probably, I don't know if at this point or at some other point that it might be worth more again, but I'm leaning more towards I'm going to collect the 6-inch Black Series, and even if I'm not ready to open it, I know I'm going to want that. I mean, you know, vehicles, especially vehicles at the size 4-6-inch scale, are not going to be common, you know. So it's like, I'm leaning more towards keeping it, even though I probably won't open it anytime soon. So I said I had 3 answers. So now I have a third. I don't have it here to show. It's back in San Diego. But even if I did have it here, I wasn't going to pull it out for this video. Now, if you're not familiar with the Star Wars Millennium Falcon Extraordinaire, look it up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I posted a video of it years ago. I mean, I'm sure a ton of other videos will come up. But you can see my actual video that I have it. It's a big... Honestly, I don't remember if it's like 5 foot, 6 foot long, something like that. And if you're not familiar, back in the mid-90s during, was it during the special editions, the Star Wars special editions? Toys R Us stores, R.I.P. Toys R Us, had them hanging from the ceiling. And I remember it had some light-up features and stuff. And then they went and raffled them off. Now, in a way, it's also technically not mine. I mean, it is and it isn't at the same time. Because my brother is the one who actually won it in their raffle. You know, so it's kind of shared between us. He's never really been into toys, but bottom line is he won it. Technically, it's his. But bottom line, that is something, well, that we have. Again, you can go look up the video. That would be the actual largest toy. I don't know if you can consider that a toy in my collection, or in our collection, my brother's and mine. But as it is, there's this, the G.I. Joe Mobile Command Center, and the Star Wars Black Series First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter. And now that I'm looking at it, like, man, I want to crack that thing open. So there you have it. I can't believe, I thought this was going to be such a quick video, but there I go. I went and rambled on about that again. Comment down below. Let me know. I really love to hear about what the largest toy in your collection might be, whether it's a big-ass figure or a big-ass vehicle. You know, there's also, some other possibilities that I can think of are like Hot Toys vehicles. You know, we're talking 1/6 scale vehicles. Like I know they did a Batmobile, right? A couple different Batmobiles, I think. And again, or like quarter scale action figures, stuff like that. You know, I'd love to hear about what kind of big ass toys you guys have in your collections. Maybe you got Metroplex or Fortress Maximus or Trypticon. Those are probably the largest Transformers toys, right? So anyway, there you guys have it. Comment down below. I'd love to hear your answers to the question. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching.